The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hello and welcome to another Video Games to the Max, the official video games podcast of W2Net.com. I am your host, Sean Garmer, and here with me, as always, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
And this is episode 184 of the show, and of course we're also in partnership with ForumMania.com and Last Word on Life. And, well, it's been a little bit, but...
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
Yeah, God. Work has not made things fun, but hey, you gotta pay the bills and everything, so. Then dog has been getting sick, and I'm hoping he doesn't have one of his coughing fits while we're doing the recording right now, because they can go for a little bit. So, yeah, but at least you've been playing some games, so.
Oh, yeah. I finished Ni No Kuni 2 and Far Cry 5. And I beat SteamWorld Dig 2.
So any final thoughts on Far Cry 5? I've heard you're not the only dissenting voice about the story.
No, it's really bad. And the ending is bad. Just kind of goes nowhere. And I don't understand why they don't have you play a character.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Like, they did that in the past two Assassin's Creed games. Like, I think Syndicate really didn't have it, but, like, Rogue and I think AC Unity, like, you were playing, like, a first-person... No, AC4 had it, not Unity. But, like, the present sections, you were, like, a first-person tester at, like, the company, and you were walking around solving puzzles that way, and it feels like the same thing in Far Cry 5, where it is like a nameless person. You create a character, but it doesn't matter at all for anything. Like, why not just give you like a gender neutral name, like Chris or something like that?
Yeah, it's weird that they go away from that to do the credit character thing that makes it feel like you don't matter to a game like that. But
yeah, the gameplay reasonably held up. Me and my friend encountered some glitches here and there, but it was okay. Yeah, it's like, if you have a partner, it's perfectly fine. But if you're trying to play that game solo, I would say play Far Cry 4.
Well, I mean, but the game is still fun, right? Like, the gameplay is still what you like about Far Cry, just the story is not good.
Yeah, but you no longer have to hunt. They changed the skill point system. Like, you don't have experience anymore. They just give you, like, a task of, like, challenges, and Wolfenstein 2, which I've also been playing. So it's like, get 10 handgun kills or get 10 like shotgun kills, and then you get like 2 skill points, and you buy whatever you want in the skill tree menu.
That sounds exhausting.
Well, there are like these little prepper stashes, like these little like 5-minute like dungeon, not even dungeon, just like 5-minute like little vault things, and they always have like a few little like perk magazines in there to give you free perk points, which is helpful.
So, you would say that it's not as good as the other ones, then?
No, God, no. Like, I would actually say it might be somewhat below Far Cry Primal, which is really depressing when you think about it.
Far Cry Primal was still good, though.
Yeah, but people didn't like it because, it's such a drastically different take.
Right.
which is understandable. Like, you're not shooting guns and you're not blowing shit up in that game. But 5, it just doesn't change enough, and the things it does change, I don't think quite work well. And then like having the really terrible story doesn't help anything at all.
That's very sad considering how much the story was a
Oh,
huge part of the promotion and everything else.
Yeah, they were hyping up the story like crazy. Like, oh, it's it's going to be like you in American soil and all this other stuff. And it's like you encounter the lieutenant, like the 3 siblings, more than you do the bad guy. And it's like that's something went wrong with the writing of this game. Like, if you think about the bad guys in Far Cry 3 and 4, like, they were, like, in the game, all the time. Like, the guy in Far Cry 4 is calling you constantly to make fun of you or taunt you. And this game has, like, nothing like that. Except for, like, these weird drug trips you keep taking.
Yeah, it just sounds like, for the most part, just kind of disappointing considering how much people were really looking forward to the game. It got delayed for a month and then seemingly just there.
Yeah, like, I don't think it's not terrible. I think my final review gave it like a 6 out of 10. Like, it's well made, but it just feels very shallow, which is like one of the more damning things you can say about a game, really.
Yeah, especially one like Far Cry that has so much to do, but then, yeah, you realize how quickly, without the substance, it kind of feels, like you said, shallow to go through that. And it'd be different if it was something new, but it's really just a lot of the same, and then you're cutting out one of the main reasons why you're playing the game, too, so.
Yeah, like, I have all these like side missions to do, and it's like, why do I need to do them? You don't need money in the game, really. And I already completed all 3 maps, and I'm not going to get any experience for this crap. So what's the point?
Exactly. So, any final thoughts on Ni No Kuni 2? Another game that has a lot of side quests.
Yeah, I gave that I think it's 7, maybe. It's better than Far Cry 5, I think. The story kind of ends somewhat haphazardly, but it's still fine. I was able to finish this one. I didn't finish Ni No Kuni 1, so points up to this game. Yeah, it's good. I just think like it's just missing the charm and the heart of the first game, which is like the worst thing about the game, because it's mechanically way better than the first game by miles, but it's just like doesn't have as many memorable characters or like the good anime sequences or like the voice acting that makes it like this special game. So that's kind of the biggest drawback to Ni No Kuni 2.
Yeah, because you can get a lot of characters right in the game from.
There are 100 characters you can recruit to your castle.
Yeah, and what, like Evan and Roland are like the only 2 important ones?
There's a party of like 6 characters, which is kind of, I think, low for an RPG, like a modern one these days. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, everyone else, they work in the castle. Like they work the shops or like the weapon store or stuff like that. They gain experience and skill point or experience and like new skills, and you get benefits from like doing research topics like with buildings and stuff. But I mean, I think that's the most fun of the game, honestly. But it's also a huge time sink because it's just like waiting for counters to either go up to get currency or to go down to complete the research job.
Is it easy to like figure out which person needs to go where?
Somewhat. Like some jobs require like special skills, and like when I was like first playing the game, it's like I don't know where that skill is, or it's like I don't know how to get that person. But like once you progress pretty far in the game, you pretty much can unlock everyone. Almost like after you complete the game, it loads you back into your save, and it's like, okay, here are 5 more characters for you to go grab, and now you can like do the post game dungeons and stuff like that.
Well, that's good at least. Does it feel like they can do a sequel off that, or would it have to be another?
Oh yeah, I think they could. Well, like, Ni No Kuni 1 and 2 are pretty disconnected. Like
Right.
there's only like there's like one little puzzle area that's like it's like directly from Ni No Kuni 1, but aside from that, like they are barely connected. Um, so yeah, I think if they wanted to make like another one, it'd be cool. The battle system's great. It's really easy. Like I barely died in the game. And I beat the boss. The boss is like a level 70 creature, and I'm 51, and I beat it. I
Wow.
was like, all right.
So it never gets hard, even on, and you're playing on like normal, right?
Well, there are no difficulty options. It's just normal. It's just one, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, it can get occasionally difficult, but never like, you know, if your main character dies, like you just swap to a different character, and then you have like, you know, restoration potion, you know, restoration items and stuff like that. So it's like, all right, I can just restore this guy and go back to him.
Yeah, because I think they overcompensated for the people complaining about how grindy the first game was.
Oh yeah, like
And
like there's still an element of that in this game. Like there's a level 95 extra boss, and to beat that, you have to keep replaying the last boss of the game over and over. Like I saw some guide, and it was like, oh, if you can do it, like it took me 6 hours to beat the boss over and over to get to level 95, and it's like I'm not going to do that. I'm cool, thank you.
I will be skipping that for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's a good RPG. Don't get me wrong, but like it's just not memorable, and like I didn't like the first game at all, but I still remember like Mr. Drippy, you know, or
Right.
uh like the thing you have in this game, like the little Lisa Simpson looking demon thing, barely says anything, and is just like a non-character almost.
Well, that stinks. You
Like
would,
he says like what the flip constantly, and that's about it, and like some British accent, and I'm like, all right.
didn't Mr. Drippy say have his thing?
Oh yeah, but he actually talked too. Like they had like some Welsh comedian like do his voice, so that was like it was sounded different, so that was impactful. This guy they have like had him play like 20 lines, and that's about it.
Well, that's a problem with the game in general. Is it took a lot of that out.
Oh yeah, like there's one character who says like 4 or 5 lines, and I'm like, that voice is unique. Like I would like to hear more of that character, and that was it. And I was like, oops. Well, I wish I'd written that character's name down because I guess I won't be looking her up on IMDb or anything.
Yeah.
But it's a good game. Like if I would say if you can get it for like $30, go for it.
Yeah, I'll definitely wait till it's down in price and go
I,
after it for sure.
I would say it's probably better than like most of the Tales games, but I don't like them too much because they have a really weird battle system.
Well, it does take a little bit of the battle stuff from Tales, so
Yeah, but you're not like doing like the directional inputs for like special moves, which that's the weird part in Tales for me.
yeah, I don't really particularly like that either. Like, why are you making it difficult for me to do the moves that I need? I need to kill
Well,
these
it's like
bosses.
you're normally pressing up on the D-pad to, you know, to get close to a boss, and then it's like, what, I'm going to have to press right and B to like do my special move. It's like this is
I'm playing a
bad.
fighting game. Thanks. So you were also playing Steamroll Dig 2, which
Yeah, I just beat that. It was good. Uh, yeah, I mean it's better than the first game by a lot, I think, because I
yeah,
burned
for
out in the
sure.
first game quite a bit. But the second one's good. I didn't get it. I didn't get everything at all, but still had fun.
It's still a game you can go back to whenever if you want to go get stuff, you know. So
Oh yeah, I might, but I don't. There's no achievements or trophies on Switch, so why bother?
very true. One of these
Uh,
days, maybe.
And the last game I probably talked about is Wolfenstein 2. Like it's really weird.
Really weird in what?
It took out a lot of the stealth mechanics of the first game, which was my favorite part.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's hard.
Yes.
Like stuck in this. I played it for like a few hours and got pretty good at it, or like okay. And I shut it off and I stopped playing for like 4 or 5 days, and I went back to it, and now I'm completely stuck because I'm in this like top of some New York building, and I was like, hold off the Nazis, and I was like, I barely know how to play this right now, and I'm getting swarmed by guys.
Yeah, I had to lower it to the like second lowest difficulty to play through the game
Yeah.
because it
Also,
was like ridiculous.
also, I don't know if I told you or not, but because you got the game for me, it was on sale, and then I paid you back it was on sale for like one day for like $12, which is great.
Yeah.
Uh, and I installed the game and I loaded it up the next day, and like the first 5 minutes, every character looked like they were irradiated, like they were bloody and the skin was peeling off, and I'm like,
Were they
I was
turning into
like,
zombies?
no, no, well, kind of like the I forget her name, like the first like the character who dies,
Oh,
Caroline.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Not, I don't know if it's Caroline or not, but like she gets she gets killed pretty quickly. Like every character looked bloody and like the skin was peeling off, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, this is like even like the flashback to when he was a kid, and his mom
Mhm.
and dad like are like look like burn victims, and so does the dog. And I'm like, what the shit? Like, I looked at like YouTube, and I was like, is this normal? And like it was like, no, it's not. And my game was glitching. I think my video driver was like out of date or something. So I
Wow.
spent some time like upgrading it, and you know, reloaded it, and it was fine. And I'm like, oh, this looks a lot better. They don't look like Holocaust victims now.
Yeah, really. The game's bloody enough. You don't need the extra.
Yeah, like even the dog and like your dog in the flashback, like it was like looked like horribly scarred, and I'm like, this isn't normal. Like,
Yeah,
what's going on here?
this is weird.
But that's it for me. You playing anything or?
I am not. I probably could tell you what animes I'm watching more than what games I'm playing.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're both watching Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, we're both watching Dragon Ball Z. I finished all of Dragon Ball, so
I will
and
not be watching that.
I watched all the movies, the 4 movies. So yeah, I really like that series.
You're watching the Funimation like online store thing, right?
No, the app has the uncut.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Uh,
you're watching through the app. That's what I meant.
right.
Yeah, I
So
got the Blu-ray set. Uh, that's pretty helpful. That's pretty nice.
yeah, I mean, I saw that. It looked really cool. Uh,
Although it comes with 9 Blu-ray seasons of Dragon Ball Z, and they forgot the dust cover to one of them. I was like, thanks a lot, guys.
that looked. You could tell the difference. Certainly,
Yeah,
certainly in that picture. Yeah, I'm in like episode 41 of DBZ right now. So
I'm about maybe like episode 70.
okay.
Like, I'm not talking like literally the last episode I watched. Like Goku finally turned Super Saiyan. So
Well, I'll probably be there, and I don't know, probably at the end of the week or something. It's just, it's like it's different being able to watch. Like I watched some of it as a kid. Some of the things like I remember, and then like I go back, it's like wow, so much stuff that you learn, and then like all the little callbacks to having just now watched Dragon Ball, and you do realize like what you pointed out, but like I'd already seen it from the Dragon Ball. They just continue it in DBZ of like how much they
like
just
per Von Bulma.
perv on Bulma, and then how Master Roshi just continues to perv constantly. At least he's consistent, So that doesn't change, and yeah, just lots of like I enjoy all the characters. Like I didn't realize how much I liked all the characters until I really got to sit down and watch the show. So
Yeah, and the other anime we've both been watching is Persona.
yeah, and Persona, which is pretty much like a fast forward version of the game. So don't watch the series if you have any inclination to play the game, because you will have the whole story spoiled for you. So just letting you know that, pretty much. But yeah, I've liked it so far. It's the number 2 was a really great. I thought like encompassed everything you kind of like about Persona. Like it has the characters. You get a little nice view of the battles with some of the demons. You get the Ryuji getting his, which thank God he's much more tolerable in Japanese. Or in this, he's much more tolerable than the English version of his voice. So, yeah, I like it so far. I mean, they really can't go wrong. The story was great. So, I mean, if you're following that, you just get to add in the terrific animation. And only thing that's kind of sad is you don't get to hear a lot of the awesome soundtrack. But I guess play the game for that, or just hear it on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be probably in there, eventually.
Yeah, it's in there some. Like you get to hear it here and there when they go into certain parts. It's just, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Like I just like that, you don't get like all the. It's like as if you're playing the game without a tutorial. Like I like the fact that like, oh, you're in that rest area, but they don't have to tell you. Oh, now you're now in the rest area. If you play the game, you get to like figure out. Oh, okay, this is where they are before they go outside and go back into the real world or whatever. And yeah, Morgana's already there.
Yeah, you get to see Morgana perving on Nan for a few seconds. That's always funny.
That too. So, yeah, I mean, there's our anime we've been watching for this week.
Yep, there's your anime update.
I mean, plus all the big series are back. So, like, My Hero is on again, and Food Wars is on again. So, it's been fun to watch those and all that. So, speaking of another series, people are really excited to show up again at some point in 2018, as long as they don't somehow screw it up and delay it again. Kingdom Hearts 3 had another trailer. This time it was very short, and it was to show off their mini-games. So apparently there's a Classic Kingdom, and you go in and play sort of like Game & Watch, like Tiger Electronics handheld games. Like literally they look like those games that you've never seen before.
Old, like LCD games.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see, but I don't know that you needed to have a trailer for this. Like I could have just done with, oh hey, these are in the game, kind of cool.
Yeah, that probably would have been a better surprise, but I can't imagine they have too much new gameplay stuff to actually show off. So
I'm pretty sure we'll probably see like the Frozen world at E3, and then that's where they announce the release date. Because I feel like you can't not show the Frozen world. As much as I like to be surprised by it, I feel like Disney would be like, we have to show this because you could get little girls and moms and daughters to want to buy the game if they see it, which they're not wrong, but...
No, the ending shot will just be Sora with the Keyblade, and he'll strike up against a set of 3 claws and then a lightsaber, and that'll be how the trailer ends.
That would be great, too, if they do have a Star Wars land in there, but I don't know.
Well, Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah, you gotta leave one of those without showing them. Like, if you have both of them in the game, either show one and maybe don't show either one, and it'd be cool to see. But I don't know. Disney's really bad about wanting to show off everything before the freaking game or movie or whatever comes out. So we'll see how that goes. There's a lot of time between now and I'm sure this is a fall game. There's no way this is not a fall game. So yeah.
I would say this is probably a damn near winter game. Like I envision like December.
Would not be surprised at all. Didn't the other games, the remixes, come out really close to? One of them came out in December. The other ones might have come out close to then. But, you know, they got a lot of time until then. I'm pretty sure they will reveal a heck of a lot more, and why not? It's a series everybody's been waiting for, so any kind of little thing you can put out there, people are going to be eating up at this point. Another game that's got we got a few released. I mean, did you find out the release dates for the?
Well, Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man has its release date, and Spyro. Which Spyro we talked about before was pretty much like almost like a done deal. We were just waiting for it to be announced, pretty much. The interesting thing is it's coming to both PS4 and Xbox One from the start, and not just PS4. So if you're one of those that only has an Xbox One, which I know a few people on our staff, actually, they're probably like the only two people that I know. But they can enjoy Spyro as well. So
yeah, Spyro is September
21st.
Yep.
And it's $40, so not bad. I'm a big Spyro fan.
I'm not a big Spyro fan, so it's like, all right, someone else wants it, feel free.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rush out and buy it or whatever, but it'll be on my list of things. Something I will rush out and buy though is Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
which comes out 2 weeks before Spyro, September 7th.
That's probably the biggest game left of the year for me, honestly.
I'm surprised it's coming out in September. I thought it would be a later game, like October or November game. So that's good. They get that out there pretty early. People get to enjoy it, and then you can have your fun with the more holiday releases.
Well, I mean, Avengers is coming out. The movie's coming out later this month, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you have to imagine the DVD of Avengers will be out in September, October.
Yeah, that's true. They'll have some kind of Easter egg for it as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, if you buy both, you get $10 off. Or if you buy Avengers at Walmart, you get this coupon for the costume in the movie costume in the game or something like that.
Yeah, that could be true as well. I'm sure people would love to have that in there. You get the free DLC. I'm excited for this, hoping that it's the next big series as far as the superhero games go. Batman's been doing it for a while for that, but Spider-Man needs to make a return to form. They did have some really good games at the best.
Yeah, I mean, the first Batman game was one of the best games ever, really. But those other Batman games were not. And Arkham City and Arkham Knight were okay, but they didn't have the good factor that Arkham Asylum did.
I liked Arkham City a lot. It's just after Arkham City, I felt like they had a really tough task to try to compete with those two games, and Arkham Knight was always going to be difficult for them to. Plus, they focused way too much on the
car.
It was really. I know people wanted the Batmobile, but I don't think they wanted it that much.
Yeah, they didn't want it to be the whole focus of the game. And that's what it really felt like in spots. There were more boss... Did you pause?
No, I didn't. I was just putting myself on mute. So if the dog decided to
I
freak
heard the
out.
dog coughing in the back a little, or heaving or something.
Yeah, he's at night is when it affects him the most. It seems like because he's in rest mode.
But it seemed like the boss battles in Arkham Knight focused too much in the car. Like there was a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, travel around the city, go find extra missions, fight, all that. Don't necessarily need to go around in the Batmobile constantly. Thankfully, won't have that problem with Spider-Man, I'd imagine. There's going to be, obviously, DLC for the game, too, so expect the Season Pass or something of that sort.
Yeah, but they said no microtransactions, which is pretty good.
Well, thank you, Sony, for being smart and understanding that's probably not a good thing right now.
It's like you'll have to pay $1 in-game money to refill Spider-Man's web cartridge.
I think I would be like, nope. You have just soured me on Spider-Man.
Yeah. You could see EA doing that, but not Sony.
I think EA would be smart enough not to even utter the word microtransactions at this point. Far Cry. We did talk about Far Cry 5 earlier. It is the fastest selling game of franchise history. As far as its opening week goes, the company says that they earned $310 million in the first week, doubling the opening sales of Far Cry 4, and it's the second biggest launch ever behind The Division. I think that's kind of expected, right? People were excited for Far Cry 5. They did a great job promoting it. You bought it. It's not like you can take it back.
Oh, yeah, but I think once they get through, like, after 10 hours, they'll be like, I'm going to go back to playing Siege or Wildlands or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, Ubisoft gets their money, and perhaps the bad press might get to them where they don't make as much as they expect.
No, I mean, this game's obviously, doing well. But you just gotta wonder, like, wonder about the DLC for Far Cry 5 with the Vietnam and the Mars stuff.
Yeah, and then probably won't be getting the Game of the Year hype that the other games have gotten too.
Oh, God, no.
At least you hope not. Anyway, there are people that have really liked this game for some reason. The thing that makes me sad, because we actually have a review for this that I'm still editing, and I feel bad to know that he's not making any money off this game. The Gone Home developer, Johanneman Nordhagen, who developed, of course, also the Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, an indie game about looking through American history, sort of like taking a road trip through it. He has made $0 from the game so far. It doesn't mean that the game hasn't sold any money, but he's had to spend any money that's been made from the game paying out collaborators and, staff and all that. I guess you gave him points for that, right? He didn't just take the money and not pay his people. He paid everybody he's supposed to pay, and sadly, this is what happens with indie games sometimes.
Yeah, the guy who made Polybius, forget his name. Oh, what's his name? The guy who is Tempest, the Lamasoft guy. Damn it, Jeff Minter, that's it. Like he tweeted like, I've made $0 from Polybius at being on PSVR, and it's like that. I could have told you that would have happened initially, like before you put the game out. Like, this isn't a huge surprise, dude.
Yeah, for every that's the thing though, right? Like, the VR games that sell well usually have some kind of, either it's Sony attachment like Moss, or, it's a big franchise like Resident Evil 7 that has like 5 million sold right now. Probably some of that's due to the VR in it. And but that game was really, really well made for VR. It's a horror game in VR. I mean, how can you go wrong there? It's Resident Evil going back to its roots. I mean, not most games in VR are not going to sell. Well,
yeah, just because like the headsets really aren't out there yet. Still, I mean, there's like a million out there, but compared to like the 20 million PSV4s out there, it's like that's bad. And then it's also a matter of like the cream of the crop. Like it's not like you can get like a demo. There's no demo stations, or you can't. Most games don't have like a try before you buy thing. So it's like
yeah, and I feel
and
like
there's also just not a ton of PSVR reviews.
well, not just that. I think also like think about it like this. I mean, the games that you're hyping, what Doom VFR and Skyrim, and these are old games at this point.
Yeah.
Like, especially Skyrim. Like, Skyrim has a name, but I think people aren't just dying to play that in VR. If they played it there, they're going to play it the same way they played it before. Doom probably looks cool and everything, but I can also see where it could probably make people nauseous. It's just, I think the problem is you lack a lot of first party, like big time initiative to PSVR. And I mean, I think that's good that it's selling, and I think, they keep dropping the price, and they can keep dropping the price all they want to, but you're still asking people to shell out $200, $300 for an extra peripheral that they don't really need. Think about how many games you could buy with that instead.
Yeah, and that's the problem that companies have always had with like peripherals. Like, remember the Sega CD?
Yeah, the Kinects. Unless you make it necessary, like I think I'll give Nintendo credit. Every time they made some kind of change to the Wii remote, and you had to spend that $40 because you couldn't play the latest whatever Wii remote game or ones that came after it because it needed that extra peripheral that you had to pay for. So
I mean, yeah, but also those games, like there was only like 4 games. Like I'd say same thing with the new 3DS. Like,
right.
What 3 games? Uses like our only new 3DS exclusive.
Yeah, but a lot of like the games did play better with that Remote Plus or whatever if you had it.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then plus you've got the if you bought the Move controllers, which I mean you don't need them, but some of the games do work better with them. It's so annoying to have to use those as well. So
yeah,
this is where I wish we had Daniel on because he has one of those and I know he likes it. But again, I'm
sure if I had it, I'd like it too. But it's not something I really need to invest in, and if I was, I'd get a Vive because my computer can handle it, and there's more stuff on the Vive I'd like to mess around with.
Yeah, and I mean, I would like to check out Moss. I'd like to play Resident Evil 7 in VR just to kind of see what that's like, but I don't really feel like there's that killer game that, oh my god, if I don't play this right now, like, I'm not saying that we need to have a God of War VR or whatever for that to happen, but I don't know. Just
yeah.
Maybe it's somewhere down the line if this ever takes off, but I feel like it's not taking off as much as they wanted to, and that's going to keep being a trend, honestly.
Right.
Still sad for Mr. Nordhagen to not make money off his game that he spent a lot of time making.
Yeah, and it seems to have gotten decent reviews, but I mean, the other real problem is that Steam is so clogged up of crap right now that barely anything kind of, like I said earlier, kind of reaches to the top.
Yeah, it's a very unique game, too. It's not something that, like, jumps off the page, like, my gosh, I gotta go play this right now, It's very niche. So a lot of the indie games that you see come out and do great things have some kind of hook to them or some easily at least you can get into it in one way or another. This really doesn't. So
yeah,
that's one of those sad things. The same thing with, this game has a bigger name attached to it, but still didn't do very well. For obviously has competition that probably made it difficult for it to do well. But Lawbreakers is done. No surprise there, really. This game has just
bombed horribly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, great that you're admitting that you haven't talked about the game, and
I think that one.
Go ahead.
Go on.
No, I'm just saying, like, Cliffy B's not happy about it either, and he's upset that, like, I guess they're trying to get rid of the people that helped work on the game with him and everything. But what does he expect at this point?
Well, I haven't played the game because it's $30. Like, that's one problem. Like, I don't think most people on the PC front they don't really buy shooters that much anymore. That aren't Call of Duty or like have a name attached. And a lot of the marketing for Lawbreakers was centered around him, and he's a pretty divisive figure. Like, I think he's an okay game designer, but he's kind of a jackass a lot of the time.
Yeah. I think credit to him for trying to do something different, and he's always outspoken about things that, the game industry needs to do to change. Whenever he's the one that went out and made a big deal about E3 needs to die, and
but he's also saying, like, Lawbreakers is supposed to be like $1 billion franchise or something like that. And it's like, yes, your player kind of 80 players is really going to make that happen.
Yeah, especially when you have PUBG and Fortnite Battle Royale come out and just absolutely decimate your player base. That doesn't help you either.
Well, don't worry, he's copying that idea right now.
Exactly. He's going to offer a free early access Battle Royale shooter. Yeah. Dude.
Called, Radical Heights?
God.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's called Radical Heights. And listen, I mean, Fortnite's already starting to take over PUBG, and people thought PUBG was going to be unstoppable, and they're sitting here talking about wanting to support PUBG for 20 years, and, I mean, that's great and all, but I think at some point you're going to get to the... Look, you're having Red Dead add a Battle Royale into their game, and that's Rockstar. They're not stupid. They're doing it for a reason. I think at some point you're going to get people going, okay, we're not going to just jump to every Battle Royale game that comes out. They're going to stick with the ones that they've been playing, so...
Well, it's the same thing what happened with MMOs, like when WoW came out and EverQuest 2 and all that stuff. And then you had all these people trying to make, like, the DC MMO or, like, the Star Wars MMO. They did okay, but no one really cared about them. And the same thing happened, 7 years ago when MOBAs came out, like with Dota 2 and League of Legends. It's like, okay, those are the two people care about. And then you had all the other crap that no one gave a shit about, like the DC one again. And like the
Heroes of the Storm is hanging on.
I mean, that has a name behind it, obviously, and like the characters. But that's about it. Remember the Dead Island MOBA? It's like...
Or was it the Paragon or whatever the heck?
Yeah, that's another one.
That did not go well. Like the Star Wars MMO is still going, right?
Yeah, but that's after they shifted to free to play, and that's why it's still going. Like if people have tried to pay a monthly subscription to it, it would have been closed years ago.
Right. I mean, again, best of luck to.
I think it's really desperate, like nakedly desperate. And from what I've been like listening to and seeing like about the game, like it's barely functional. But of course, like the in-game store is fully functional, but like textures are missing from the game and looks like very Spartan. It looks like a barely above a PS2 game. So it's like, yeah, you can see where you're putting your time and focus into this game right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously they stopped caring about it after people were just not playing it. So I don't think this will do well at all. But hey, I guess.
Well, I think it'll do well because it's free to play and it's on Steam. Like, if Fortnite was on Steam, I might give it a shot, but I'm not going to download their stupid launcher to play it.
Well, a lot of other people have.
I don't know about you. I've gotten like 5 or 6 emails from like Epic about my, Epic game. Someone's been trying to hack into my Epic Games account. And it's like, well, unless you guys want to play, Shadow Complex, that's all I ever use that account for. So feel free.
I don't even have an Epic Games account, so...
Good, yeah. I've seen people get like 20 emails from Epic. It's like, holy Christ.
That would get on my nerves pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about MMOs. The latest WoW expansion, Battle for Azeroth, is actually officially going to be released on August 14th. So, not that long from now, and comes out before all the craziness of the fall. So that's a good idea for them to kind of get out there while it's still sort of summer and, get the hype behind it and see how many people you can retain after that. Are you excited for this at all? Or?
Yeah, because I played in a PvP server and they're getting rid of those, and I can't wait.
Are you interested in this story, or?
I don't care about the story. Like, that's never really been one for me. I mean, I'll probably get the game from Adam, I would assume, because that's where I got Legion from. And yeah, I'll play it. So, I'm playing WoW right now, so.
Yeah, it lets you keep going with the WoW you've been playing, so hopefully it, improves the game as most of the expansions do.
Yeah. There's been a few that have been iffy, but...
And they've been doing pretty good recently, so...
yeah.
I mean, they have a reason to. They have to keep that player base from dwindling even more, but...
Yeah, but I mean, it's been 14 years since that game came out, and it's still going fairly strong, so...
That's amazing for that. It's absolutely crazy that game is still going, and it's like, man, how old... This game's 14 years old, and so much has passed in our lives, and it's still going.
Well, there are kids who are probably playing it now who weren't alive when the game came out.
Yeah, exactly. That says something right there. And the fact that they're letting you have vanilla WoW and everything, so you can go back to playing it during that.
Yeah,
how it looked during that time too. Final Fantasy 15, of course, is still going as well.
That'll also last 14 years.
Yeah, they won't even have a Final Fantasy 16. They'll just keep milking Final Fantasy 15 for all they can. So, there was supposed to be new DLC episodes coming out at some point this year, but apparently not. It's not going to come out until 2019. Good Lord. These better be some amazing freaking episodes. All I'm going to say.
I mean, you played more of the DLC I did of Final Fantasy 15. What did you think of it all?
I loved the Igneous one. Because he is so fun to play with.
Okay. I only played... Oh, go on.
Well, no, I like the Prompto one, too. It's different. The gunplay is not great. But I liked his story, I think, the most. Because he has one of the more unique stories. And Gladius was...
boring?
Kind of more the same. Yeah,
that's
boring.
That's the one I played, and I was kind of bored to tears by it. I'm like,
yeah, it's really
all right.
Boring. The Arden, I like Arden as a character. I think getting to know more about him that's interesting. The Luna Freya one looks like it's basically just, here's Luna's backstory and what she had to deal with, like from her perspective, what you dealt with in that time period that you meet her in the game, which again, I guess is fine. Like, if you really want to know, again, this is where I think they messed up by putting too much of the story into the movie, because that's kind of where you learn way more about her. But, that's already done and dusted. We can't really go back and change any of that, honestly. They're adding an ending with Noctis, so
They'll release a version of the movie where it's playable.
yeah. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they milk it that badly that they be like, "Oh, hey, you can just play the whole movie. Why not?" Are you interested in any of these, or?
I mean, I probably won't buy it, but it's funny because when Final Fantasy 15 got released on Steam, they're like, "This is a definitive version." Should have put an asterisk next to it and said yes, except for the DLC coming in 2 years from now.
Well, are they going to include that in the season pass, or are they going to charge you more for it? We don't know.
Oh, they're going to charge you more because this is costing them money to make. So of course they are.
Yeah, probably another $25, I'd assume. Yeah, it's still not too terrible.
Maybe 30 because this is 4 episodes. So
yeah, that's true. There's also going to be some kind of Tomb Raider and Final Fantasy 15 crossover.
I think, they're also spinning off Comrades into some standalone thing, which is all right.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. But the Tomb Raider Final Fantasy 15 thing is dumb, but I might give it a shot.
Yeah, they're supposed to release more info about all this in about 10 days, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm fine with going back and playing separate Final Fantasy 15, just don't know why we gotta take so long to make it, but alright. Again, just better be freaking awesome if you're making people wait that long. I know, speaking of making people wait, Sam Fisher, still don't know if we're getting, and maybe this means that we are officially getting a Splinter Cell game this year. That's a rumor that came out that we talked about. He's gonna show up in Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I think it might even be here because it's supposed to come out a few days ago. Maybe. Yeah. I think it came out 2 days ago or something like that. But you get a bunch of Splinter Cell gear in the game if you do the mission.
Hey, are you going to? Does this make you want to go get Sam Fisher and?
Well, now that me and my buddy finished Far Cry, I still got to help him with his Far Cry 5 game, but we'll probably both load up Wildlands and do that.
Hey, there you go. Get some Splinter Cell gear. And go to Bolivia and hunt down stuff. Just watch out for the
Predator.
That and the high altitude that you're gonna be in. Mega Man X, we talked about this about 3 or 4 times, I feel like. But the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, of course, is coming out split because Capcom wants to charge you and make money. Something Capcom has been made no secret about. They want to make money off of their old stuff, and they will make you pay for it if you want it. In July, go ahead.
It would help them if they made their new stuff better, so that people bought that instead.
Yeah.
Except for Monster Hunter, their last few games have stunk.
Yeah, RE7. It's like they make one good one a year. RE7.
That was last year. I mean, that was a good one. But Street Fighter V was a disaster, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was another disaster.
They at least they made good on Street Fighter. They're in Marvel vs. Capcom. They've obviously just put that to pasture, and it's probably not just Capcom. That's also Disney getting involved and kind of screwing them a little bit, and then the licenses screwing them too. Maybe that. They couldn't have X-Men at that point. But yeah, ever since Capcom announced that they were going to do stuff with their old games, them hoarding out all this doesn't surprise me at all. But July 24th, you can get all the Mega Man X games if you want them. Just get ready to pay $40 for all of them. Or just pay $20 for the split of X through 4 or X5 through 8. And
between the two, the first X1 through X4 is the collection you'd want.
Yeah, I would agree on that as well, even though I've only played like a couple of the X games.
X8 is a cool game. X5 through X7 are not.
Paying $20 for one game that's old. I mean, it's not unheard of, I guess, but
yeah.
At least it's coming to Switch day one this time, so that's a plus for Switch owners.
Yeah.
Speaking of old games, Shenmue 1 and 2 are getting re-released. Not remastered, re-released with some kind of up-res. They are going to be $30 for both games. I think that's fair. If they were doing more than a sort of half up-res, maybe you can charge more, but I think this is sort of the best you can do. For it being on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and you get to pick between the Japanese or English. I mean, cool, I guess.
I have two thoughts. One is that I'm not going to buy it for myself, but I will try to buy it for my friend Frank, because he was the one who reviewed it for GameSpot, like, way back in the day, and gave it the notorious, 6.8 for Shenmue 1. That the fans have never forgiven him for. And the second thing is the game's supposed to have achievements, and I really hope there's an achievement for drive forklift in real time for a week.
I would not be surprised if there was one.
It'd be hilarious to me.
Let's do it. Let's make crazy ass achievements, because why not?
Yeah. I mean, do you like Shenmue?
I like it well enough. I thought it's overrated.
I thought it looked impressive, technically at the time. It was on Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I didn't like the gameplay at all, and I didn't like the story, and I really didn't like the combat.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I liked its idea, right? There's games that have come after it that have done this way better.
Yes, it's called Yakuza.
Yeah, Yakuza, even Sleeping Dogs. Alright. Sorry about that. The dog, I said he was having some issues.
had a small heart attack.
God. Yeah, so, old games keep having things happen here. We talked about Chrono Trigger on Steam being bad. And at least Square Enix tried to do something about it. They put in a patch that lets you play with the original graphics. So, even though that should have been in there from the beginning, but,
Yeah, I think, but it's Square, and they're not known for their bright ideas most of the time.
They do great PC ports of games that are recently released. They do terrible PC ports of old games.
Well, it's because they always just port over the mobile version, and it's that's not the one people want most of the time. It'd be nice, basically just offering the option. If you want to play with the SNES graphics and look, you can.
Especially since it wasn't on the SNES Classic or whatever,
No, Chrono Trigger wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't, so why not give them that opportunity?
You have to wonder why it wasn't. Was this the reason? But if it was, why wasn't the original?
That's a really stupid reason. Considering, yeah,
I got nothing against Secret of Mana. I mean, I haven't played it, but between the two, Chrono Trigger is probably the more prestigious one. Or
especially considering Secret of Mana was having a remaster, not to.
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger is not. Ever, probably.
Just wait. They'll get a Akira Toriyama back in there and have him redo Chrono and everyone else.
That would be amazing, but I don't know.
Did you ever see that PS1 intro?
Yeah, I had the PS1 version. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Those cutscenes are great. It would be great if they could have them in the PC version. Yeah. But,
well, don't worry. After they get done with their Final Fantasy VII remake, in 2025, they'll get working on Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. I doubt that. They'll probably just keep doing something with Final Fantasy VII, I'm sure. Or they'll be on Kingdom Hearts, whatever the hell.
No, but
4 by then.
After they're done, they'll start remaking the remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, God. You know what? That would be something I could laugh off, but seriously, you have to wonder.
Yeah.
If they're going to make it into episodes, who knows how many episodes they'll try to string out of that thing. So,
yep.
They said 3, but I could see them easily trying to do way more than 3. So, yeah, a lot of stuff with old games this week. So, Microsoft, of course, they're not stupid. They know where their bread is buttered, and that's in old games. So, Xbox, the original Xbox backwards compatibility was something that got a lot of attention when it first came out. People were kind of excited about it. They've actually put the games on the digital store so you can buy them as well. And the same thing is going to happen here in 2 sets. Actually, today, I think, I don't know if right now, but probably in a few hours.
Yeah, 2 hours from now.
You can play these games here. Blinks the Time Sweeper. We've all been waiting to play Blinks the Time Sweeper again. Breakdown, Conquer Live and Reloaded, Morrowind, which that is a fantastic game. Hunt of the Reckoning, I always thought was underrated. It was a really fun co-op game that I think doesn't get enough credit for making that, the zombie thing happen. Jade Empire, which I know Mark hates that game.
Yep.
Panzer Dragoon Orta, which is fantastic, and SSX3. So, then we have...
Of that list, I would say Orta is probably the one you'd probably want to buy.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe SSX3.
I definitely want Orta.
I wouldn't say Morrowind, because the PC version is probably way better and cheaper.
Yeah. Well, I don't... Is it less than $10?
It has been. Let's say that. Also, I don't think it might not be the Game of the Year edition that they're releasing on Xbox. And also, any computer made in the past decade could play Morrowind no problem.
Yeah, that's true too. So it's up to you if you really want to have it on a console, then it's there for you.
I actually did play Morrowind on consoles. That Xbox version is the one I played, and I got way into it.
Yeah, it was really good for its time.
Yeah.
Then after that, you get Destroy All Humans. This is on the 26th, by the way. Full Spectrum Warrior, Mercenaries, Playground of Destruction, MX Unleashed, Panzer Elite Action, Fields of Glory. This is only for Europe. Then you get a bunch of Star Wars games. The original Battlefront, along with Battlefront 2, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Starfighter, Knights of the Old Republic 2, which is the game people have been waiting on. And then Republic Commando, which...
That's an okay game.
If you're into Star Wars, you get a lot of games there. Especially if you have the disc still.
Mercenaries is the one to get from that list.
Was that the better one, or was it the original?
That's a good one.
Okay. Yeah,
Mercenaries 2 is when they fucked it all up.
I did like the Mercenaries game. So, Plus, no microtransactions in these two
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront games.
Yeah, the original good ones. So
I think BAFTA's the last of the giving out awards for games from last year, if I'm not
maybe
mistaken.
they have awards shows every 2 months. It seems.
Yeah, it seems like every 2 months we're talking about award shows for games that came out last year. Tim Schafer got, I think, the lifetime achievement, what amounts to the lifetime achievement award, probably. Hellblade gets an artistic achievement, no surprise. It also gets the audio achievement, which is the bigger no surprise. Best game is What Remains of Edith Finch. Okay. Look, I know a lot of people like that game, but all right.
I would maybe not say that, but okay.
Best British game, Hellblade.
Yeah. Is there a Doctor Who game this year? We could nominate that instead.
All right. Gora Gora is good. I don't know about debut game, but there's other debut games that are probably better than that. But again, it seems like they're giving Annapurna a lot of love here. Overwatch gets best evolving game. That seems kind of a no-brainer. Super Mario Odyssey gets best family game. All right. Game Beyond Entertainment, Hellblade. Yeah.
I'd probably say Nier, but that's me.
Yeah. But I think what they're trying to point out is like, I guess one of those like makes you think about it afterwards game but Nier also does that too.
Yeah.
Game Innovation. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like
I can see that because like they changed the hell out of that formula.
Oh, they did, certainly. I'll give them credit for that. Yeah. And it's a different way to also play an open world game too, where they don't have a lot of. It's not just out there set for you. Here's where you go, or whatever. You got to do a lot of exploring yourself. So.
Oh yeah.
Divinity: Original Sin 2 wins for best multiplayer.
That's surprise. Like I'm happy it won. That's kind of surprising to me, though.
Yeah, of all the things it was going to win for, multiplayer would not have been one of the ones I'd think of. Music, Cuphead, it does have really good music, like jazz, old school type music from that era. Not my favorite soundtrack of the year, but it's really good music. Just that's fine. Night in the Woods, I wouldn't say has the best narrative. It's probably in the top 5 narratives. It's well worth being nominated, but Nier is better and Wolfenstein is better. But all right.
Yep. Divinity might be better also.
Yeah, Divinity might also be better there. Horizon Zero Dawn gets best original property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not a sequel, and not part of an existing franchise, and certainly.
I don't know. I would think that like Cuphead could have won that, but it's fair enough. They probably wanted to give something to Horizon. And Melina Juergens, who also won the VGA award for this, best voice acting, best performer for Hellblade as Shenmue, which I'm fine with that. She was great in that. And then considering she was not a voice actress really coming into this, and they just liked her voice and picked her, I think that's fair enough there.
Yeah.
So what's more impressive? A Way Out sells 1 million copies, Shovel Knight sells 2 million copies by now, and a Resident Evil 7 has 5 million worldwide, and I think 7.2 overall.
I'd say probably Resident Evil 7, because Resident Evil 6 bombed so hard.
Yeah, I would say. Shovel Knight selling does not surprise me at this point. They're still coming out with new, the Golden Knight thing drops in a couple of days, or out now, or I don't know where that stands, but it's not too far off. It's a game you can easily get into. Anybody could play. It doesn't surprise me. Way Out kind of does surprise me that it hit 1 million copies.
Yeah, you'd hope it would give EA like pause about like single player, well, relatively single player games. I mean, it's not obviously, but story based narrative games, but it won't.
They had one out of the two, right? Because Fee didn't do too well. So
I tried to play Fee, and I got nowhere in it. So.
Did you ever actually do the review for Faye?
No, because I couldn't get past the first puzzle.
Sega Japan announced the Mega Drive Mini. This would be great if you didn't have the same people who did the flashback console do this.
Yeah, games. So they're going to fuck it all up.
I was like, and also, this really means nothing unless what games are on it. So,
yeah, they already said Sonic 3 is not going to be part of it.
Well, that discontinues that whole deal with the Michael Jackson.
I mean, honestly, at this point, just replace the song.
Really, you can't. Did Michael Jackson put a hold on that where you can't?
Or just license the song from the estate. But I mean, if Sega just was like, okay, here's Sonic 3, we have to place this one song from Green Hilltop Zone or whatever because of or Angel Island Zone, I think that's the one, because of this. Fans would probably be fine, we'll at least get the game.
Yeah, people would want the game over one song.
But, or like I said, just license the song. But
I think they're making a big deal out of nothing there. It's come on, Sega.
But honestly, it's the fact that it's still at Games making this thing makes me want to stay clear away. No way.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes, but it's not like there's not other Sega. Plus, they're releasing a friggin' collection without the need of having a console.
This is already, and aside from the collections they released for the 360 and PS3, last generation cycle.
Yeah, and now we know why they did not release any of those collections for the Switch, because they're going to try to do what Neo Geo is doing and try to make money off of the individual games on the Switch.
The problem with that philosophy is that Neo Geo games are actually worth that. Genesis games aren't.
Yeah, I mean, there's 15 Genesis games that are worth doing that for. But
they wouldn't get them all. They're not
I just don't understand why. And this leads me more to believe again that either the Virtual Console is not happening, or the Virtual Console is going to be the subscription service, and Sega's trying to milk anything they can before that comes out.
I mean, having a Switch now, I don't think the Virtual Console is going to happen.
Why not?
I just don't think that system's built well enough, organization-wise, or the system menu-wise to handle Virtual Console. Because you only get 10 tiles.
They could change that, though. That's a software update.
I mean, they could, but I don't see Nintendo doing that. They never even did that for the Wii. There was only 24 tiles, 20 tiles maybe, and it's if you got more, it's oh well. It's that's
you had to hit the more button or whatever the hell.
No, that was it. You only had 24 or 36 total. Because I ran into that problem because I had my Wii had a bunch of Virtual Console stuff, and at some point they were well, we can put it on this SD card for you, and then you have to delete one game and then copy the game over from the SD card for it to be on the system.
Oh, that's
it's what kind of bum ass system is that? Just have
really?
It run off the SD card.
I mean, it's not that hard to just keep creating tiles. I mean, other systems do it.
Yeah.
I mean, ask somebody from Sony. It's not that hard. I mean, y'all are two Japanese companies. I'm sure that they talk to each other.
I don't think it would be hard for them to do a Virtual Console. I just don't think they're interested in it.
I think it's also they probably want to see how well their online system is taken to. If people actually purchase it, and they make money from that, then they might say, okay, this is worth funding. But I still think it's well worth it for them to explore the Game Pass type system instead of the way that they did it before. I bet you could get people to actually buy a Switch just for that.
I think the Game Pass idea would all depend on which games they have. 'Cause I don't think they could get a lot of third-party games. I think it'd just be Nintendo crap, which is
Well,
still
if it's
worthwhile.
old stuff, then no.
Well, I think like even like old Nintendo games would be worthwhile, but I well, it's Nintendo, so I don't think they see the value in that at all.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean,
I
again,
mean, just like Sony doesn't see the value in that for like PS. Is it PS Now?
yeah, but PS Now, they already made it. They couldn't really do anything with changing. I mean, I don't know how much they would have to do to make it to where, like Game Pass, where you could download the game and
Yeah, they were just running out the system, which is what like if PS Now was basically like download PS3 game on your system and run it, I'd subscribe.
right,
exactly.
exactly.
But it's not. So it's something like the emulated or like running off the network or something like that crap. And it's like this doesn't work for a lot of games.
Yeah, it doesn't. And the man that still does stuff with old games, making big records, of course, the one that has so much glory with Donkey Kong, Billy Mitchell, has his scores disqualified. He says that he's going to show everyone that is all legit in some form or fashion.
He's going to jump in his time machine and record himself playing the scores.
I mean, cool. I mean, I get it. Like, this is his sort of claim to fame, so protect yourself all you can, whatever, but, you know.
He always comes across as a dickhead, so this is his, like, comeuppance, I think.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It sure is, but it's like, okay. You know, like...
Oh, it's funny that, like, one of his like you know, defenses were like, oh, this one guy, this Twin Galaxy referee and like gamer also, he's the one who saw me do all this stuff, and that guy also got disqualified for like lying about scores. So it's like you may not want to just like point to that guy.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably some shadiness going on it from Twin Galaxy's point of view too, but
I don't think not anymore, because I think G. Hall took control of it in 2014, and they tried. Like, this is the whole point: is they tried to clean it up. Like it was the last guy, like Walter Day. He's the one who kind of even. Did you ever watch King of Kong?
no.
Oh, watch that sometime. He comes across as like, you know, being impartial or whatever, but he comes across as very biased towards Billy Mitchell.
Well, that does not help things at all there.
Like one of the cruxes of that movie was like, it was Steve Wiebe. He recorded him playing Donkey Kong like from his arcade machine on a videotape, and he sent it in. And Walter Day was like, no, you can't, like, your tape doesn't matter. Like, you have to play it in front of us or whatever. So he played it, and he got a score like that beat Billy Mitchell's. And then Billy Mitchell sent in a tape, and Walter Day just accepted it. And Steve Wiebe was like, what? Like, that's not cool.
Okay, you just told him he couldn't use the tape, but here you are letting Billy Mitchell use the tape. Okay.
Yeah. So I would, like, watch that movie when you get a chance. It's really fun. It's really good and funny. That's where you see, like, Billy Mitchell at his, like, most villainous.
That doesn't surprise me at all, really. But something that makes me laugh because it should have been addressed from the beginning, and it took them this long. Basically, they're doing this now because they're not making any more money off the microtransactions, so they can do this now. Shadow of War is removing their microtransactions because, quote, the core promise of the Nemesis system is to ability to build relationships with your personal allies and enemies in dynamic open world, while purchasing orcs in the market is more immediate and provides additional player options. We have come to realize that providing this choice risks undermining the heart of our game. What? You just now realize this now? Bullshit.
It's more like lawmakers were sniffing around our loot boxes, so we're yanking this out before they ask us any questions.
You knew that this undermined your Nemesis system from the word go. Everybody told you that. In reviews, in fans saying it. We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, when I was reviewing it, yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Stop acting like everybody's dumb. Basically, the government and probably you're not making what you were making at the beginning from this stuff. So you're going, okay, let's take it out. No big deal. We'll make it look like we did something great. And
apparently they're also trying to fix their Shadow War system, like the grind at the end of the game, like to see the actual ending.
That should have been fixed a long time ago, too.
No, that shouldn't have been in there in the first place.
Yeah. And they're waiting until July.
Yeah, like if you have any
17th.
gold, it'll be like converted to items or whatever. But it's like items don't matter in that game at all. Like it's gross. Like you have to wonder if the loot box stuff actually impacted the game sales much. Because like if I didn't get it for review, I probably would have gotten that game. Just because how gross if I did get that game, I would have got it on PC.
That's sad that how much people love that first game and then how much they ruined it in the second one.
Speaking of that, guess what game is $15 right now on Amazon?
What game is that?
Metal Gear Survive.
That does not surprise me at all.
Yeah. Came out 2 months ago.
Oof. Konami, you just know how to ruin your games. Here. My Hero Academia's actually their game has a name. It's called One's Justice. It follows the same sort of thing from the game, the way that you battle. It has a sidekick system, sort of a la Marvel's Capcom, where they kind of come in, do their move, and get out. You can destroy stuff. It looks cool. I'm sort of interested in it because I love the anime and everything, but, you know, I don't know that I'm jumping to buy it or anything. Maybe one of those when it gets lower on the price range.
Sure.
Like, I don't think it helped at all that the Sword Art Online alternative, the Gun Gale Online, that the game came out first. And now they're having the anime come out because the game didn't do the anime any favors. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I really feel like I should go play. Like I watched like 2 episodes of the anime. And I feel like I should go watch. I should go play PUBG or something now. I feel like I learned something from watching that anime, and it was like way too into that. Like, okay, you can tone it down on the tactics and stuff. So Rampage won the weekend because there was nothing out.
But A Quiet Place almost beat it, which is really sad when you think about it.
Well, the movie was not good, so
yeah.
I mean, it's dumb fun, but it's like really, really dumb.
I like how The Rock was like, "Oh, I've been in bad game movies before. Did you ever see Doom?" And it's like, you're in Rampage, dude. Like, this isn't much of a big step up.
How appropriate are the 2 video game-based movies? Just that trend just keeps going on.
Yeah.
Sad. I heard Quiet Place is pretty good, though.
Yeah, like, if it was playing around here, I'd see it, probably.
It's a testament that Black Panther is still in 6th.
Yeah.
Making $5 million. Ready Player One is in 4th, made $11 million in blockers, but John Cena made 10.3. He is now single again after breaking it off with Nikki Bella. So
now, which wrestler do you think Nikki's going to go after next?
She can go back to Dolph again, I guess. Who knows? He's not doing anything. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to keep going with all the Total Bellas and all that stuff after.
I think now. I think for sure, because now it can be like Nikki's dating life.
Oh yeah. Well, plus,
and they'll have skits of her like being on Tinder or something.
The thirsty people on Tinder, man, that's gonna be Nuts. Jessica Jones gets season 3. No surprise, really.
Yeah, like I saw the story and I was like, yeah, of course it is. It's getting a season 3. Like, how is this a big shock?
Silicon Valley also gets a season 6.
Yep.
That doesn't surprise me either.
I question how long that show is going to keep going on. That's my big kind of curiosity. Like, it does well enough for HBO, I assume.
Yeah.
But, like, those guys are getting more and more popular. So that's the question. Like,
but they're also not really doing anything else.
That one guy is.
What's his face? Richard is in the Verizon commercial, but...
No, Kumali Nanjiani, he came out with, like, that Sick movie last year that, like, won a bunch of awards and stuff.
Oh, that's right. I don't watch a lot of the artsy stuff, so...
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I've been enjoying this season. Kind of is.
Oh, sure.
Have you been liking the?
My concern is always going to be the same. Like, they're just never going to get. They can't do it, but I want them to succeed. But it's always going to be the sitcom trope of, oh, they'll succeed for one episode and then immediately crash the next episode or something like that.
I feel like they can only succeed when they know it's going to end.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think for them, the whole crux of that is how they keep screwing up every time that they have that opening to succeed.
Yeah.
Or that there's always somebody after them, like Gavin Belson is, still after them, and, all
and
that.
I'm still kind of waiting for, like, Richard and Monica to hook up.
Yeah, like, that's also one of those, like, they keep hinting at that, and I wonder if, at this point, I wonder if it's, like, going to be more like Jared and Richard do something, or Richard and Monica do something.
Yeah.
So, because that's, like, always been an undertone of the show, too. So, that's, yeah. We'll see how that goes. Are you excited for Westworld?
Oh, yeah. I actually watched the season finale a few days ago.
Yeah, I probably need to rewatch that before it comes on
and
again.
I'm happy my one friend on the show got promoted for season 2.
What friend is that? Somebody I would know or no?
No. Her name is Tallulah Riley. I forget her name in the show because she's in it for a few episodes, but she's not she's not huge. Her name is Angela in the show. She's like one of the attractive hosts.
Oh, okay. I don't.
Yeah,
think
I'll send you a picture of her offline. She's in a few episodes of Doctor Who also.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
she was also married to Elon Musk.
Oh, well.
Twice.
Damn, twice. What the hell's going on, Elon?
Oh, they got married and split up, and then they got married again.
Okay. Elon, what's wrong with you, man? You got too much of that crazy stuff going on the brain right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is it's a big week for games. 2 big games and 1 peripheral that will probably be huge for the Switch. And then Phantom Trigger and Wild Guns Reloaded comes out as well. But God of War, of course, on Friday. And Yakuza, which is out right now. Yakuza 6, by the way.
That's a good game.
Yeah, it's a pretty great game. So if you have not played, if you're excited for Yakuza, I'm sure you've already got it pre-downloaded and ready to go. God of War, I'm sure is the same thing for most people. Of course, that's amazing. Mark will be getting to play it pretty quickly here. And Labo, I have no idea if one of the many Switch people that we have on staff are going to get it. I am not. I was, but just not going to spend $70 on that right now. And I don't know. I'm just worried that I'd buy it and then my daughter would lose interest in like a day, and then I'm sitting here with something I just paid $70 for. So
yeah, If it was like 30, I might buy it, but not 70.
I'd agree. Like if it was 30, and I can understand if the robot was like 50 or something, but yeah, I can't. Right, unless it was like something where she's just like, oh my god, I want to get this right now, and I could see her playing it for weeks, but just that's an investment, So you can buy another game for that that you might want, and you can buy God of War instead, and you'll know you'll enjoy that. So we'll have at least God of War to talk about next week, if not more things. So we look forward to that until maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday. We'll see you.
Whenever you don't fall asleep.
Yeah, whenever I don't fall asleep. We'll see you then, folks.
Later. The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.